Hey, all right, so I'm going to show you guys under the car, or under our Hellcat here. We got it off the trailer after our last pass at the track, that 688 that we did. And what we like to do after we do something like that, or after just a whole race day or an event or whatever, is pull the pan, inspect the bearings, see what everything looks like, see what the undersides of the pistons look like, piston skirts. It's just we have found a good thing to do because you easily catch something rather than actually destroying something. So let's have a look under here. So this is what the rotating assembly looks like. It's really nothing special. As you can see, it is a BGE block with still using factory reluctor wheel. We just have a Hellcat. It's actually, is it still 10%? I think it is still a 10% overdrive damper. It's not driving anything. We have the serpentine drive pulled off the front so we can drive, and a mandrel put on so we can run our fuel pump. Melling oil pump. That's just the high pressure one. Nothing special. Just what we put on everything. Factory timing chain and crank gear and tensioner and guide up in there. Factory mains. We're using ARP bolts. So previously we had a Manley crank in this. Right now this is a Callie's crank with a full counterweight. We switched to the Callie's because we thought that we'd be spinning this thing a lot higher than we are. But it's just out of camshaft. So now we're not spinning it very high. We're spinning it just as high as we were with the Manley crank. So I don't really see the need for that Callie's crank. Or we found that we probably didn't need to do that. So it's not in there because the Manley crank was not sufficient. We just thought that we wanted a full counterweight crank for more RPM as opposed to the Manley, which is a partial counterweight. It does have aluminum rods, which is probably the only significant thing about this rotating assembly. It's a shelf piston. I don't know if you can see up in there or not. It's not anything special. It's a, I don't know, what is that? Weisco? Manley? I'll be honest, I'm not totally sure. I don't remember. Block is all hogged out. You can see the oil returns are all hogged out to fit the aluminum rods on both sides. They had to go. We don't really see any issues from that. Nothing has really happened that indicates that oil can't get back. Squirter's blocked off, obviously. But other than that, it's really nothing special. And it's making 3,200 pounds go 201 mile an hour, which is pretty cool. Factory front cover from a Hellcat. We've milled the air conditioning stuff off. But other than that, nothing special. So I got the rod bearings out of a couple of these, and they look perfectly fine. They look great, actually. The best the rod bearings have ever looked coming apart. So just put them right back in. And then I wanted to check the other side of the pistons, like for like the pin bore. So I feel like we're probably getting to the point where those pistons are not going to be strong enough. And we might need to do like an upgraded piston. Yeah, so just keeping an eye on that pin bore. We really don't know. This is new territory for us. We've not made this much power before. But we have seen that others who are making this much power start to hog out those pin bores. But these ones are tight. When the rods were unbolted, I gave them a wiggle and the pin bores seem very tight. So we'll put the pan back on and be good for the next time we take the car out. So something else that we have been doing lately after we do a track event with this car is pull the valve covers, check the valve train out, make sure everything's still in line, check all the lash, make sure the lash is still good, and nothing has started to wear funny or break or anything like that. This is the first quarter mile pass on the turbocharger engine or the turbocharger setup, but is absolutely not the first quarter mile pass on this valve train package. We've done a lot of quarter mile stuff on this. This is the original valve train in the car from when we first put it together. Obviously we've gone to a different cylinder head, but we have not changed the valve train. So still the same rocker arms, push rods, everything else that we have been running and it's been working really, really well for us. But we still want to check it. The car has been to 8,700 RPM before, but those were inside the 8th mile, so like on the 1-2 gear change, in the 2-3, not at the running it out in 3rd gear. So obviously there's a lot more time that it's at that high RPM when you're running it out the back. Previously we've spun it up high in the 8th mile, but we haven't run out the back. So we wanted to especially check this time because it was sat at above like 8,500 RPM for a bit, or above 8,200 RPM for a bit. And that will be the first time that it's done that, so we definitely want to check it out. And I also wanted to show you guys our really trick valve train package that we've developed with this car. So like I said, it's been at some pretty decently high RPM for a few years now, and we just ran it out the back and it seemed to be successful. I've had the valve covers off just now and checked it. It is still all together, so it did do it successfully. But I wanted to show you guys what we've done with the valve train. And I know that there's a lot of cool valve train parts out there, and so some people probably don't know which they should use and what works best. So we're going to show you what we use, what we've come up with, and what we put together on our cars. It's a pretty slick valve train package, so we'll show you guys that now. All right, look at that. What do we have here? So this is what our valve train package is, and it's what we've figured out works at high RPM. And when I say high, the highest we've taken this thing, I think, is 8,700. And reasonably sustained RPM. So what we have here is a factory rocker shaft. And again, this is all the original stuff. We grabbed this off the shelf from spare parts, put it on, and haven't changed it since. So factory rocker arms, factory rocker shafts, factory rocker bolts, 3/8 push rods, which, you know, that's obviously not a factory part, but it's just 3/8 push rod. Same as we use in all of our cam kits. It's a different length though. And you may not, obviously we can't show you what the lifters are, but they are factory lifters. OEM factory lifters. They are not like Johnson lifters or oiled lifters, or, and when I say oiled, I mean like the wheel is oiled. They're factory lifters, and they're the original factory lifters that we've had in this since we put it together. So they have lasted a very long time, and they work great. So let's see what the other side is. I only took that side off to inspect. I haven't taken this side off yet. I've unbolted it. Let's see what it looks like. It sure is nice to be able to get these off in this car as opposed to a factory car. Yeah, it looks good. I'll go and check lash. But really what I'm looking for is any broken rocker arms, any bolts backing out. So, well, that's especially it. This thing vibrates a lot, being, you know, motor plated in, I guess. And we have a lot of bolts and whatnot just buzz loose. I mean, you can put them down as tight as you want, but sometimes they just buzz loose. So just going through and checking everything, make sure everything's still tight, is just what we have found we needed to do. But everything looks great. But this is all unmodified. Like there's literally nothing done to this. We don't have any sort of additional supports. We don't have any special bolts. We don't have anything. And like I said, factory lifters. And we've never had a failure with with these parts. And it just works. And that's all there is to it. It's not very complicated. It just works. So if you guys are wanting to spin stuff up to the same RPM that we're doing, you really don't need to change anything. And obviously, you know, we may find something in the future, right? We may find that there is shortcomings to this, but we've had about 4 seasons on these rocker arms now, and rocker shafts and lifters, and have not had any failures. And we've had this engine apart several times, and we inspect each part when it does come out, and we just put it right back in. So this looks like it checks out good. I will go through and look at these a little bit more in detail on that side, and probably end up putting it back together and be ready for the next event. So hope you enjoyed our little video of what we check over after a like a race event, and we'll see you at the track. Thanks for watching.